I gotta ask the anime onlys, because that reveal at the end, and what we're getting into, actually. You know what, before I even get into the information of this episode, let's talk about that preview for next week's episode. So, according to what the preview says, I waited till the preview to see what we would get, we are getting Fairy Tail Zero, so... I didn't think it would actually be that early. We are getting Fairy Tail Zero for the next arc. Now, if you're unaware what Fairy Tail Zero is, I have personally not read the manga. I just know about it from here and there throughout the comments and stuff, and Chibi's telling me a little bit of information about it. I know that Fairy Tail Zero is a prequel manga, and it focuses on the founding of Fairy Tail. And we are actually going to be getting an anime of this series. It was announced a while back, I think about 2 months ago or whatever, but Fairy Tail Zero was announced very recently, and it looks like the next arc we're getting into is going to be wrapped around Fairy Tail Zero, which is a very smart idea on A1's part, because right now, there's not a lot of arcs for A1 to kind of adapt right now into an anime. I mean, there is a lot of content, but there is not a shit ton of content to adapt. And I feel like since there is Fairy Tail Zero out there, I feel like maybe A1's like, you know what, let's just dive into this story, because maybe not many have actually seen Fairy Tail Zero, myself included, and we'll be able to see the content and see what's new and find out more backstory on some of these characters for the later arcs, because I know Fairy Tail Zero has some very crucial information for some of the upcoming things in the later arcs. So for me to be able to see this, upcoming anime of Fairy Tail Zero, I'm actually looking forward to it, because it's something I haven't seen myself, so there's going to be a lot of new information for me to review, so I want you all to look forward to that, because I'm going to be an anime only with you all when it comes to Fairy Tail Zero. But, getting off of that, okay, since I've discussed the announcement for Fairy Tail Zero starting up next week, let's talk about the episode. So, the ending conclusion reveals the major question, who E.N.D is, or N, the Book of End. It is Natsu Dragon. Now, of course, if you didn't watch the preview for next week's episode, like, if you didn't see, like, the scene after the ending song, and then you'll get to see the reveal from Zeref, and then it goes into the preview for Fairy Tail Zero, you'll see the reveal that Natsu is E.N.D. And that is a huge, huge fucking reveal, because that lets us know that Natsu has been created by Zeref, and he is a demon. So, I'm not going to really dive deep into that because I don't want to spoil anything, but I will say this, however, I want to see all of you anime onlys' theory crafting. Like, do some theory crafting. I'm curious what you all think about that. Like, what do you feel about Natsu being a demon? Like, do you feel like there's been any foreshadowing to that? Because there actually has been some foreshadowing to Natsu being E.N.D, which would surprise a shit ton of you, which, you know what, I will answer this right now. On the first main color page of Fairy Tail, Volume 1, first chapter, the color page, or in the non-color page, whatever, if you have an actual physical copy of Fairy Tail Volume 1, if you look down at the bottom of Natsu's leg, like on the bottom, like way down the bottom of the picture, you will see, like, E.N.D. You will see the word E.N.D. on it, underneath, on the bottom part of the page, and that hints at Natsu being the Book of E.N.D. So, very cool foreshadowing by Hiro Mashima when it came to that, and he definitely knows what he wanted to do with his character since the very beginning, and there is other things that Hiro Mashima wanted to do, which will be revealed in due time, but I will save that for later when we get there in the anime. But for now, though, the anime concludes the Tartarus arc, and majority of it is kind of like the aftermath of what really happened. I mean, we get to see Duran Bolt and how he is a part of Fairy Tail, and, how he erased his own memories in the past, and how he's been a part of them the entire time. I wonder how everybody's going to really feel about that one, because I know there was some mixed reactions when the manga chapter came out to that. And then we also have it to where all the dragons do their final farewells, and then Natsu, he does his final farewell to Ignil, and, he goes on his journey, like a time skip. So, I mean, it was a very, very impactful final episode of this arc. It was very feelsy, a very feelsy episode that, got my attention. It was an enjoyable, feelsy episode that I felt like A1 couldn't have done really any better. I mean, they did a good job with what they had, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do with Fairy Tail Zero, because I am really hyped up for that. I have not seen it. I know it's going to be focused around some certain set characters, which I don't want to say, because, like I said, I know some certain underlying facts about it, but I don't know everything. So, I cannot wait to see it. It's going to be a fucking hyped up arc. But yeah, let me know in your thoughts in the comments below. I mean, how do you all feel about Fairy Tail Zero? How do you all feel about the dragons all disappearing and dying like they did? They were already dead. The information to give all the dragon slayers. I mean, how do you feel about all this stuff we got? How do you feel about, you know, get to see Lax is back up, not unconscious anymore? I mean, there's so much. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, how you felt about this week's episode. You all have a wonderful day or night, wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.